Welcome, welcome, welcome to another exciting episode of Wind Down with Kev. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to tune in, to watch us on live stream, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. You are appreciated. Special appreciation and gratification to all of you who have already hit the subscribe and the notification button. You are appreciated. And for those of you that haven't yet, you're going to love the content we create today. So please do it immediately afterwards. Also, special thanks to our sponsors, Carol Media and Canopy Connect. Please reach out to them for all things digital. So today we're super excited because we're going to do something that we've never, ever done before. I have a co-host with me, Emmy Award winning Mr. Bernardino Rosario, and we are going to come to you in Spanglish because we're speaking to a wonderful guest, one of the leading, newer, younger, exciting, award-winning agents in the country. She is out of the great state of Maryland, and she is someone who I'm very happy to call my friend. So put those hands together and let's give a warm Wind Down with Kev welcome to Mariana Fernandez.
Hi, thank you. It's an honor being here.
Hola, ¿cómo está, Mariana? How are you?
Muy bien, Kevin. How are you?
I'm good. So I'm going to do what I can, but Bernardino is going to have my back. Mariana, please introduce yourself. Tell the people a little bit about yourself. I'm going to have Bernardino introduce himself, and we're going to get this thing going. We are doing something we've never done. I like to tell people all progress in life is made outside your comfort zone, and we are standing on the edge of the mountain outside our comfort zone. But please, Mariana, introduce yourself to the people.
Of course, thank you. Well, thank you so much for having me again. Thank you for bringing Bernardino to save me if I say something embarrassing in English. So I'm Mariana Fernandez. I'm an OC agency owner in Maryland. On March 1st is going to be our 3rd anniversary. We started scratch. I have a wonderful team. I have the most beautiful son that I love so much. And of course, I have a wonderful husband. So family is really important to me. I came to the United States from Venezuela in 2014, so 11 years ago. And I'm happy to be calling this my home today. I've been blessed to have this community of agents around me, and it's been a fun ride being an agency owner. I'm actually a journalist, and I came as a journalist, but then don't ask me how I ended up in insurance the first year that I moved, and now I'm here.
I love it. And we're definitely going to ask. So Bernardino, introduce yourself to the people because you and Bernardino have that in common. So introduce yourself and maybe let's talk to the people in English and Spanish to let them know who you are.
Yes. Saludos, Mariana. Saludos todos. My name is Bernardino Rosario. I'm an executive producer and a host. I've been in the communications field for a very, very long time, over 25 years coming up on. So un placer realmente poder estar en esta conversación, estar contigo también, Mariana, be part of this entire experience of speaking about something so important, which is insurance, right? Most of us don't think about how important it is until we need it. And what we're trying to do here today is make it possible so you understand the importance of it now before you need it, right? So just thank you for allowing me to be part of this. And I have to tell you before I go on, I love the way you roll your R's. I love the way you roll your R's.
Gracias. All right, so Mariana, let's start at the top. What do you love about being an all-state agent? And thank you for sharing your experience, your beautiful family, who when I first met you, I met your whole family at the same time. You, your husband, your son was only 1 at the time. You came right up to me in Vegas, and we had a Nice conversation. A happy belated birthday to your husband. I seen you shout him out the other day on social media.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, so there's two things that I love about insurance. The first is, when a customer, especially because let me just say this, most of our customers are Latinos. So when I opened my agency, I wanted to have an 100% bilingual team. So no matter who call, we're able to talk to them in their language, and that's really important to me. So we dedicate our agency especially to the Latino community in Maryland, actually in the DMV, Virginia, Maryland, Washington, D.C., and Delaware, but mainly in Maryland. So every time we have a customer saying gracias or thank you, or this is the first time ever that I hear this is the first time that someone took the time to explain this, it just filled my heart and my team's heart, because it's almost every day that we hear those. Or when we see that maybe because they didn't know the language, someone took advantage of that and we're able to help them. So we are able to go, beyond the insurance conversation with our customers, and I love that. And personally, I love, met Kevin and met all the amazing agents that helped me to be here today. I'm sure I'm not able to do this alone. And because I met you and so many incredible agents the first year, I told myself I want to be in this world and I want to be in this community. So professionally and personally, it's been a blessing for me.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm going to have Bernardino jump in a second, but you said something important that's been important to me for over 20 years. Your drive, your vision to be able to explain coverages to people in their language. That's very relatable and understandable. Here, where I am in New York, my agency, we speak about 8 languages. I'm in Queens, New York. It's the most diverse county in the country, so it's very important we speak multiple languages. But specifically in the Latino community, I've been working both before I became an agent, as a manager, as an agent, to help myself and other agents understand this market, because the approach to it is different. Latinos are the fastest growing market in the country, not only in population, but in home ownership, business ownership, car purchases, and everything else. So can you talk about that a little bit? Then I'm going to have Bernardino come behind me and say the same thing in Spanish, just to talk about what you see and the high quality of people that you're helping to protect and assure the things they work so hard for and value the most.
Yeah, of course. And I can start saying something that every agent wants is a loyal customer. And I can assure you, a Latino customer, if you are an honest agent and you actually help them, they're going to be not only loyal, but they're going to refer you with their family, with their friend, because they trust you. So once you have that trust, you can have a customer for life. No matter, increases, something that, things that are out of control, they are really loyal and they refer you. Other thing is that, Latinos, we have big families. So as an agent, you have also customers who has bigger household, bigger, more cars or more houses, and we like good stuff. So we usually have, pretty cars and nice houses and toys that we like to insure. But the Latino, yes, we are really hardworking people. Most of my customers, like a really big percentage, are business owners, construction, landscaping. So when we have that customer, we're able to help him with, his family's insurance, but also their commercial policies, and we can explain things to them. Because for me, I think we have a mission as agents, especially with the Latino community, and Bernardino might back me up here. But in our country, sometimes having insurance is like optional. It's like, it's a recommendation. So here we have the mission, at least in my agency, to also educate our customers about what we need to do and how is the best way that we can adapt to this country and be, more respected as a culture, as a group of a community, and do the right thing the right way. So we have an amazing opportunity with Latino marketing. I should say it's the most fast growing community in the United States. And we can have customers for life. And I think that's really hard to find. And I really appreciate that from our community.
Bernardino, please allow her to say the same thing in Spanish. That was a rich answer, and I want it to be heard heard in both.
Tenido con la comunidad latina como latina al brindar este servicio, ¿cómo ha sido para ti? ¿Cómo es diferente trabajar con otras comunidades? Porque nosotros los latinos podemos, como mencionaste en inglés, somos muy fiel, right? Y mencionaste algo más importante aún that you and I actually touched off air, which was the need for insurance and how culturally moms and pops maybe didn't see it as important, but now the new generation,
Yes.
the up and coming understand because we're so much more Americanized. Somos muy americanizados y entendemos la necesidad de tener seguros. ¿Cómo ha sido para ti trabajar? Porque mencionaste en inglés que también este es tu tercer año apenas, right? Entonces, todo esto es una nueva experiencia para ti.
Sí, sí, el 1 de marzo va a ser nuestro tercer aniversario. Empezamos desde cero nuestra agencia con el foco de ser una agencia 100% bilingüe para dedicarnos en su mayoría a la comunidad hispana. Y parte de lo que me gusta es, uno, que como clientes, pues los latinos somos muy leales cuando nos ganamos la confianza, ¿no? Cuando somos un agente honesto, responsable, que no tiene miedo a perder un cliente por explicarle las cosas como son y hacerle la recomendación correcta. Esa parte es muy importante. Y pues además, un latino siempre te va a recomendar cuando te conoce y confía en ti a su familia, a sus amigos. Y además somos una comunidad en crecimiento en el país, no solamente como dueños de casa, sino también como dueños de negocio, ¿no? Como mencioné en landscaping y construcción. Pero para mí es muy importante también la parte de educar a la comunidad en qué es lo correcto, porque es importante tener seguro y no solo lo mínimo, sino subirlo, porque no podemos hacer como en nuestros países que es una recomendación tener seguro, ¿no? Es algo importante. Entonces, esa parte agrega un valor adicional para mí cuando trabajo con nuestra comunidad.
I love it. I love it. Go ahead.
Y solamente voy a añadir la importancia después que se forja esa relación. Estaba mencionando los comentarios. Mariana,
Recommendations was important. Mucho importante. Seguros.
right. Y cómo es esa relación después que se forja, porque mencionaste que recibes a diario mensajes ya a nivel personal de agradecimiento.
Sí, sí, cuando las personas nos dicen muchísimas gracias por tomarte el tiempo a explicar esto, es primera vez que alguien me dice qué significa o por qué es importante. Hemos tenido clientes que están indignados después que hablan con nosotros con lo que tenían en su seguro anterior porque no sabían el riesgo en el que ponían a su familia al tener ese tipo de cobertura. Y pues terminamos siendo, a veces somos psicólogos, a veces, ¿sabes? Nos llaman simplemente para conversar y hablamos de un montón de cosas más allá de seguros. Nos piden recomendaciones, porque como nos confían en nosotros, pues nos piden recomendaciones de fuera del área de los seguros también. Un latino siempre va a estar ahí para ti, pero tenemos que corresponder esa lealtad con honestidad, ¿no? De hecho, parte de nuestro logo es elevar tu protección a través de la honestidad, el servicio, la dedicación y la amabilidad. Entonces, honesty, la honestidad is really important to me. Súper, súper importante.
I love it. I love it. So if anybody's watching me nod my head in agreement, me habla poquito español, comprende mucho. So I speak a little bit of Spanish, but I understand a lot. So I'm picking up all the key words. I'm following the conversation, and it's amazing, and it's a blessing to have. So Mariana, one of the blessings of this business is that not only are you able to run the business, but you're also able to recruit and hire people, bilingual staff, like you mentioned, to work with you. So in the Maryland DMV area, is it hard to get an insurance license to get started? Because one of my other obsessions is helping agents recruit bilingual staff so they can come in and work into the agency. And then, you know, at some point in the future, if they can be like you, your journey going from an LSP first to an agent. So how hard is it to get started?
It's actually easier today because in Maryland, you can take the test even without going to the class, although I don't know how can you pass the test without going to the class, but you can do that now. So you can schedule your test and then study through the website or through the book. You have Kaplan, AD Bankers. We can recommend several education platforms, but it's really easy. Like within a month, you can even start studying and get the test done. You can do property and casualty, or even personal lines if you only want to do auto, home. But if you want to do commercial, you will need the property and casualty. And I will always say that it's even better if you go after life insurance license. But just to start, the property and casualty or the personal line is really easy. Just go online, get your test schedule, and within a month you can have that ready. And for me, to find bilingual staff is hard, and I'm not sure if I'm doing it right or wrong, but I don't look for people with experience in insurance. I look for people that are honest and responsible and hardworking and kind, because you can't teach that. Like, I can teach
Nice.
them to sell or to service, but I can teach them to be kind or to be honest or on time. So once I have that person, I make the proposal, and I pay for the classes, and they take the test, and then just start working with us. So that's usually how I found my bilingual staff.
So you are not only giving people any special things. Do they have to have a college degree or anything like that to get into the field, or there's no barrier to entry there?
No, just bilingual, and they have to be proficient in at least one of those two, English or Spanish, but be able to at least understand the other one. So if they have someone on the phone, they're able to at least make a payment or something small and transfer the person to the right department, so we don't have a customer going through different lines at the beginning. So yes, but that's the only requirement.
Un poquitito de esos requisitos para, porque tenemos muchas personas, son profesionales de nuestros países que vienen acá, quieren empezar de nuevo, tienen un tiempo ya acá. ¿Cómo puede ser una persona que quiera ingresar en el profesionalismo de lo que es el seguro?
Seguro. Sí tengo que hacer la salvedad que para poder presentar el examen tienen que tener un Social Security activo para poder presentar, pero presentar es muy sencillo. Pueden buscar online en la página de Kaplan o AD Banker el curso para Property and Casualty o Personal Lines. Personal Lines solo les va a ayudar a vender autos, casas y líneas personales. Y si quieren también meter comercial, pues la parte Property and Casualty. Y siempre voy a recomendar que luego consigan la de Life Insurance o seguros de vida. Pero en Maryland, de hecho, no tienen que pasar el curso para presentar el examen. Sin embargo, es recomendable hacer el curso para poder pasar el examen la primera vez. Pero en un mes, incluso un poco menos de un mes, deberían poder ver el curso y poder presentar y pasar. No necesitan más allá de eso. Comentaba ahorita en inglés que particularmente para tener un equipo bilingüe, yo no pido que tengan experiencia en el seguro, solo pido que sean amables, honestos, responsables y trabajadores, porque son cosas que ya yo no puedo enseñarle a alguien. Sí les puedo enseñar sobre seguros, pero
Exactamente.
esas virtudes no. Solo que quieran trabajar, que quieran progresar, y con su licencia pues tienen las puertas abiertas en un mundo increíble.
Pero sabes como el mundo de los seguros es algo que es muy ajeno para muchos de nosotros.
Ujú.
¿Qué puedes decirles que los
¿Aló?
motive, no hacer para motivar a esa persona que diga, ¿sabes qué? Yo nunca me hubiera imaginado que el mundo de los seguros, como a ti, porque tú eres periodista y ahora es dueña de tu propia agencia, que te iba a gustar tanto.
Ok, muchísimas cosas, me vinieron muchas cosas a la mente. Lo primero es que lo que vayan a aprender en los seguros aquí les va a ayudar o les va a servir para siempre. No importa si después tienen otra carrera, saber de seguros nos ayuda a todos. Entonces, si yo soy experta en seguro y después no trabajo en seguro, igual esa información me va a ayudar a seguir protegiendo a mi familia o a recomendar incluso familiares y amigos. Entonces, no es una información que se va a perder, ¿no? Es algo vital para todos porque es obligatorio. Eso por una parte. Lo otro es que trabajar en seguros te da la oportunidad de tener un sueldo ilimitado, porque pues estás basado en comisiones y a nosotros nos gusta progresar y pues siempre mejorar nuestra calidad de vida, y al mismo tiempo les da la libertad de trabajar desde donde quieran. Pueden trabajar desde casa, pueden trabajar en la oficina, pueden trabajar para una agencia en otro estado. Entonces tienen libertad financiera, tiempo para compartir con sus familias también, y es un conocimiento útil para todos. Así que yo no lo hice al principio porque era lo que soñaba, obviamente, y aprendí a amarlo y terminé pues teniendo esto como para el futuro de asegurar el futuro de mi familia. Así que quien lo esté dudando, inténtenlo. Nunca, nunca van a perder el tiempo aprendiendo sobre seguros.
Y solamente para hacer hincapié, el examen no es difícil, es fácil.
Sí, sí, sí. Siempre va a parecer un poco más difícil cuando uno empieza a estudiar, pero no le tengan miedo. Son muchas cosas repetitivas también. Hay unas cosas que quizás uno se tiene que aprender de memoria, pero eso, si te lo aprendes, sabes que vas a pasar el examen. Pero no, no es difícil. En un mes, como te digo, regularmente pueden estudiar, terminar el curso y pasar el examen. Y no tengan miedo si lo fallan en la primera, pueden ir y repetirlo a los días y pasarlo a la segunda. Así que eso no los detenga tampoco.
I love it. So for our English speaking audience, that
Lo
was a
amo.
deep discussion about passing the exam, about 3 different types of insurance, the auto, the casa, the comercial. Mariana, the life seguros. Speak about the importance of educating the community on the importance of life insurance. Unlike seguro de auto, seguro de casa, seguro de apartamentos, unlike those, the life insurance is not required, but mucho importante de familia.
Yes. So, and actually for the Latino community, have two type of insurance, which is life insurance and renters insurance, that most of us maybe think that it's not worth it selling like a small life insurance or a renters insurance, but both are really important to our community. So with life insurance, we always recommend to the customers to get something. You don't have to get $1 million policy, $2 million policy. You have to get something because you'll never know. So if you have a tight budget, don't be afraid to spend $20, $30 on a policy, and then we can review it. 1 year, 2 years after, you can. Between my husband, my son, and I, we have like 8 life insurance policies because every time something happens in my life, I just add something. So you can always start small. People is sometimes afraid that if they don't have social, they can have it, but with us, at least they can apply with social and with tax ID number, so they are confident that we're gonna pay in case something happens. The other thing is that most of Latinos that I spoke to, they'll wish to send that body to their country in case something happens. And that's really expensive. And the consulate sometimes can help you with a little bit, but not too much. So, especially if they're here alone, I would recommend to get a life insurance policy. If you're younger, even better. It's cheaper. It's not a death sentence. You can have a life insurance and still live a full life. Because sometimes they say, I'm not going to die right now. So I'm not telling you this because you're dying tomorrow. Just get something cheaper and just have that peace of mind that if you're here alone and something happens to you, your family can get you back home. Or with Latinos communities, most of the times maybe the dad is working but the mom is at home with the kids. What happens if the dad pass away? Can she leave the kids at home and then just go working, or the other way around? If the mom passes away, can the dad stop working to take care of the kids? So we usually sell life insurance, like just get life insurance to pay for college and for pay for your mortgage. But with our community, we also have to talk about this. What happened if you want to send your body since you're at home, or if your mom died or your dad dies? We need to have those hard conversations. They're not nice conversations, of course, but we need to have them. And we need to talk about those small policies that could mean so much for our community in case something happens.
So I'm going to ask one more question, and then I'm going to have Bernardino revisit the same conversation in Spanish. So when here, if someone is American, born, raised, plans on being buried locally, we talk about the average cost of final expenses being 10,000 on the low end, 15,000 on the high end. So I'd love for you to talk about what it means to fly your body back to your country of choice and maybe having 1 or 2 family members fly with, and what that cost can be and how life insurance can replace that. And what I loved in your answer, you went 2 places with you. You didn't stop at final expenses. You talked about the importance of income replacement for the working person, also the value of the stay-at-home mom or the stay-at-home dad, because while it may not be income producing, it's something that you don't have to pay for. So as a parent of a very young child, you know the cost of daycare. You know, I think someone recently asked my son, who has a 1.5-year-old, you know, would $200 a day be would that be too much? I was ready to quit Allstate and go to work for him and start babysitting for my grandson. So can you talk about that in English first? That I want Bernardino to revisit the same life insurance conversation with you in Spanish.
Sure. I actually asked this to, I believe, in the Mexico consulate a couple of years ago. Not sure if that increased or not in the past couple of years, but it was around 15,000 to send the body back home. Not sure, what is involved, because I just asked about the estimate. So I'm guessing there's different prices, but they told me an average. And you can imagine it's not only that, but then the final expenses over there. Just think that you might need to reach out lawyers here if that person was alone. I actually work on a case. It was a 21-year-old, and he had a car accident and he passed away, and no, all his family was in another country, and his aunt called my agency to see if we had something for him, and we didn't, because he didn't have life insurance. So imagine that poor woman just trying to find lawyers or somebody here to get the body of his nephew back home. And again, it's this really sad story, and it's not something that we like to talk about, but it could be thousands of dollars. Maybe you can get some help again with the counselor or not, but I mean, at least 10,000 minimum. And I don't think, most of us has, 10,000 just laying around. So yes, it is important to have that.
Mariana, si podemos tocar un poquito sobre lo que es la importancia del seguro de vida y erradicar esos mitos, porque muchas veces en nuestra cultura no creemos en tener seguros de vida porque no vemos la gran necesidad. ¿Qué nos puedes contar?
Sí, el seguro de vida es sumamente importante para mí. De hecho, comentaba que entre mi esposo, mi hijo y yo tenemos 8 seguros de vida, porque a veces pensamos o decimos, yo no quiero comprar un seguro de vida porque no me voy a morir mañana o porque estoy muy joven. Pero lo que nosotros siempre recomendamos es tener algo. Uno nunca sabe. En mi país había un comercial que siempre decía, es mejor tenerlo y no necesitarlo que necesitarlo y no tenerlo, ¿no? Entonces, uno puede empezar siempre con un seguro de vida pequeño, económico, que puede costar menos que lo que uno paga en el celular mensualmente, ¿no? Y en nuestra comunidad es muy importante por diferentes ejemplos. Tengo muchos clientes que me dicen, a mí me gustaría que mi cuerpo lo mandaran a mi país. Hablamos que eso puede costar $10,000 o más, dependiendo pues de las ayudas que puedan conseguir. O también tenemos muchos casos de familia donde el papá trabaja, pero la mamá cuida a los niños en casa. Si ese papá falta, la mamá puede dejar a los niños para ir a trabajar. O en el caso contrario, si la persona que los cuida en la casa falta, la persona puede dejar de trabajar para ocuparse de los niños, ¿no? Entonces, a veces con el seguro de vida hablamos de proteger el futuro y si los niños van al college o a la universidad, pero no pensamos también esas pequeñas cosas que a nuestra comunidad les hace falta. En español puedo agregar cuántas veces ustedes no han visto personas en las iglesias o en las calles recolectando, ¿no? Para un velorio, porque una persona falleció y no tenían cómo enterrarla ni siquiera aquí. Son historias muy tristes que vemos más de lo que nos gustaría, cuando realmente es algo que uno puede solucionar con muy poco dinero al mes, especialmente si uno es joven. El seguro de vida no es para personas mayores, el seguro de vida es para cuando uno está joven y está sano y es económico e incluso puedes tener beneficios y acumular dinero y luego usar ese dinero más adelante. Entonces, no pensemos que comprar un seguro de vida es una sentencia, ¿no? El seguro de vida es proteger el futuro, proteger a nuestra familia y entender que todos estamos aquí por un momentito, ¿no? Y que cuando no estemos, a mí me gustaría saber que mi esposo y mi hijo pues van a estar bien. Y eso es lo que más me llena. Así que pregunten, nunca tengan miedo a preguntar. Y en el caso de la comunidad hispana, puede ser con social o con tax ID number. No tengan miedo de preguntar si no tienen social. Es algo que pueden tener igual con su tax ID, con firmas y todo para que no estén nerviosos de que luego no se va a cubrir.
Y es cambiar esa mentalidad, porque es inevitable de que va a llegar un momento donde vamos a dejar de existir. right? Por lo menos en este mundo. Entonces tenemos que tomar la iniciativa de decir, ¿qué pasa si yo dejo de existir? ¿Cómo le va a afectar a mi familia? ¿Cómo le va a afectar a esos que tengo a mi alrededor? ¿Y en qué situación económica estoy yo como para poder pagar por los servicios fúnebres, right? Entonces, es uno poner los pies sobre la tierra y pensar a futuro.
Definitivamente, pensar en el otro y al mismo tiempo yo a veces cuando hablo con las esposas le digo, díganle a su esposo, ¿me quieres regalar algo este San Valentín? ¿Me quieres regalar algo este año? Cómprate un seguro de vida también. Entonces, piensen en su familia porque como mamá, y es algo que a mí no me gusta pensar, pero Dios no lo quiera, me faltara a mi esposo sin un seguro de vida, yo no podría quizás mantener el estilo de vida que tengo para mi niño, ¿no? Y entonces no solo pasar el dolor de la pérdida, sino además no poder ni siquiera vivir ese dolor bien, sino que entonces tienes que preocuparte por todo lo que se te viene encima. Eh, entonces no tengan miedo de pedir esos regalos, me parece un regalo maravilloso y se los pueden dar una vez al año nada más y ya no lo piden más. Así que pensemos siempre en el otro. Hay que ser empáticos y pensar en nuestra familia y que cuando nosotros nos vayamos, seguramente arriba vamos a estar mejor, pero hay que pensar en los que se quedan aquí.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Can I
That
say that in
conversation.
Spanish? Lo amo, lo amo, lo amo.
See, 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 see. Love the explanation. Mariana, let's pivot a little bit. Let's talk about your digital presence. As much as we're conducting this podcast in English and Spanish, I've had fun to English and Spanish. You've gone from being shy and reserved. Now you're appearing on radio stations and you're everywhere. So, can you talk about your digital journey and your growth and how much it's meant to you and your business?
Yeah, of course, because let me just say this. I studied journalism, but I like to write, not to be in front of the camera. So it's been challenging for me, you know, especially if I have to speak in my second language. And right now, I'm actually trying to unify my both accounts because I have one account for my agency where I like to teach about insurance in Spanish. Latinos have that communication channel in Spanish about what is important and things about insurance. And then I have my personal that I used to try to avoid to make sometimes express feelings or thoughts because I thought social media was just to have fun. But then I understood that if another person who's reading something that I wrote and it made them smile or think about something, or I made a post yesterday and I had a lot of hearts of people saying they're grateful for the life as well. I read somewhere that we are all influencers, no matter if it's one person or you you are an influencer in your family, in your community, in your agency. So now I'm trying to add more value in both my agency and personally. Hopefully I will merge both. Sometimes with my kid, he's only 3, so I'm still trying about putting him out there, but I think if I want people to know me as an agent, they also need to know me as a person. It's something that I've learned from you, especially. So I'm working on that, but I like it. I enjoy it. I really, really like it. I follow great people online about that. And I mean, it's the future. And to be honest, most of our customers and Latinos are in social media. They're coming mainly from Facebook and places where they can see your face and see or read in their language. So social media is huge right now, especially for the Latino community.
Because being in those social media places, not only can they see you and read the information, but anyone watching this podcast or watching what you post, they're going to feel your spirit, your energy, your passion. See?
Definitivamente, yo creo que involucrarse en el mundo de los medios sociales ha sido el vínculo más fuerte, especialmente entre nosotros los latinos, porque somos el grupo étnico más fuerte que se conecta.
Sí, y tú lo ves, por ejemplo, en Facebook, ves, no sé, El Salvador en Maryland, venezolanos en Washington, ¿no? Empezamos a unirnos porque nos gusta conectar. Yo formo parte de grupos como latinos en Maryland o hispanos en el DMV. Entonces, esa conexión es muy importante para nosotros y volvemos a lo que hablamos al principio de cuando confían en ti y te refieren. Cuando una persona, un latino va a buscar seguro, pregunta en Facebook. ¿Qué compañía de seguro me recomiendan? ¿O qué compañía de tal rubro me recomiendan? Porque confiamos en el otro, en la otra persona en nuestra comunidad. Entonces, social media o las redes sociales son muy importantes para mí, no solo para que me encuentren, sino para que me conozcan y para que conozcan a mi equipo. Cuando abrí mi agencia, no le puse mi nombre, le puse un insurance group porque somos muchas personas y quiero que cuando hablen conmigo o hablen con Mariano, con Esther o con Luisa, conozcan su cara y sepan quiénes son. Entonces, social media nos ayuda a estar más presentes también, ¿no? En la mente de la gente y a conectar de una manera más profunda. Así que solo tengo que mejorar un poco yo, pero social media
No,
tenemos
por
por
lo que
ahí.
yo puedo ver, eres excelente y me imagino entonces que esa iniciativa de estar más activa en los medios sociales realmente te ha servido.
Sí, y además también a mí me gusta comunicar, obviamente, y entonces traté de ver, cuando creé el canal de Instagram para la oficina, así, ok, ¿qué quiero hacer? ¿Quiero enseñar de seguros? Sí, pero quiero hacerlo en español. Hay muchísima información de seguros en inglés, ¿no? Entonces yo no iba simplemente a agregar algo igual. Quise explicar y a veces hago videos, como verán, hablo bastante, me puedo extender 2 o 3 minutos explicando un solo tema, pero quiero que sea un canal más de educación que llaman para una cotización, ¿no? Quiero que realmente si no están conmigo, si no están con Allstate, igual puedan tener valor de lo que publicamos. Así que esa parte me llena mucho también, el poder comunicar y educar.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Mario, you are crushing it. It shocks me to hear that you've only been an agent for 3 years
Mm.
because you have invested your time and you're networking with the top 1% of the agents company wide, countrywide. How much is networking and contacting and being with agents across the country and building some of the friendships and relationships you have? How has that helped you? And what would you say to a newer agent coming in, the importance of networking and just building connections to accelerate your business growth?
It's everything. It's not a major part. It's everything. For me, it's everything. Um, so when I open Scratch for previous experience, I had this misconception that everyone was competing, right? So nobody wanted to help me. But then I found CWC that I know it's been mentioned a lot in this podcast. So I found CWC and Joseph and Allison, who are great human beings. And then I went to Vegas and I met these incredible people. I met Nick Saka and then Mayra Menchaca and Julia Alvarenga. And I started meeting all these people who start to introduce me to somebody else. So, for example, I saw on Facebook Wyatt Mays said something that Nick commented. I was like, okay, if Nick commented, this guy is also good. So let me just email them. And I start emailing like, hi, I'm new. I know nothing. So if you can please help me or give me a tip or a nugget. And Nick actually gave me 30 minutes of his time just to help me. And not only Nick, I can spend another podcast naming people. Nancy, Justin, you, Kevin. I mean, talking to you is like a dream to me. So being able to connect and learn from them, it changed my agency. And actually, when I start connecting with these people and learning from them, in 1 or 2 months, we were able to double our production just because I connected with them, and they helped me. They were more abundant in their knowledge. They really want me to succeed. So then I understood the concept of, collaborating are at the top and competing at the bottom. So just want to be at the top and we want to collaborate and I want to pay that forward. So even when I don't know much, if an agent reach out to me, I was like, what do you want to know? You want to see my screen? You want to see my numbers? You want to see everything? Because you all did that for me. And it changed my life. It's still changing because of that. So it was everything. And then I love CWC, and I went to Texas Leader Forum the first time that I traveled without my kid. And I actually made it because some agents posted about it on Facebook. I was like, I'm having a panic attack, I can do it. And people who don't know me, it's like, you can do it. Just we will wait for you here. I was like, okay, I'm going. So it's amazing. It's an amazing community. Uh, I love Aussie agents. I love them so much. They can't even imagine how much they mean to me, and not only on a professional level, but on a personal level. You know, you have helped me through personal panic attacks, Nancy. So and I even felt closer to God because of this community. So as you can see, I just love them. I love them. I love Aussie agents so much. And if you're a new agent, please reach out to me, to Kevin, to
I
everyone.
love it. I love it.
They will reply and they will help you. I promise you that.
I love it. I love it. I can't think of a better answer. So, we talked about the agent community, but now as we begin to come down a little bit, I want to ask you about some of the things you're involved in your community and giving back. What are some of the personal passion projects that you have that you're working on in your community right now to give back and help customers in your area?
Sure. So on a community level, again, we started Scratch 3 years ago, so cash flow is like yay. But we, since the first year, we didn't want to wait to be big to give back. So we just try to share whatever we have, even if it's little right now, and hopefully that can increase. So we're trying to participate in a lot of Latino festivals, just educating, not selling or anything, just educating about insurance. A lot of resources, fairs, those are usually at schools where you can talk especially about the importance of life insurance. So we go there and just give classes for first time homeowners in Spanish. So we bring that information in Spanish. In the recent years, we got some recognition from the city of Baltimore, the Mexico embassy, just because we're there, because that's how we are. We love when we are there and we are present. So mainly in terms of collaborating as well, we are just aware of tragedies or things that happen in our community, and we just reach out to those families and just help them. We don't advertise that or anything. We just try to help whatever we can, and that's how we do it. But mainly just educating us in Spanish, be present in those events so they can reach out, and we can talk about those myths and the importance, and knowing if a family it's in need and we can help that. So that's what we do, or we try to do.
So I'm going to say this in English. I'm going to have Bernardino let you talk about it in Spanish. Your time is worth more than money. The time that you're giving in these areas is so much better than if you could write a check for thousands of dollars. Your time, your knowledge, you're pouring into your physical presence in these places, the festivals, the schools, the embassy, that is worth more than you being able to stroke a big check to say that I donated this or I donated that. But
Okay.
Bernardino.
No, definitivamente la importancia de que se tiene al conectarse con la comunidad. Pero antes de eso, porque yo creo que hay muchos latinos que de repente tienen curiosidad sobre esta profesión y dicen, pero si yo no conozco a nadie, ¿cómo yo voy a hacer? Me gustaría que toques brevemente de tu experiencia en ese network, ese apoyo que tú has recibido entre tus colegas, right? En Allstate, al tú misma decir, yo no sé nada, pero necesito su ayuda.
Claro, bueno, llámenme. Estoy a la orden cuando quieran saber, yo feliz. Sí, cuando empecé sola, tenía como la predisposición por experiencias pasadas que quizás me iban a ver como competencia y no me iban a querer ayudar, hasta que conocí un grupo en Facebook de agentes en donde los comentarios veía que todos estaban ayudando. Y yo decía, pero ¿qué es esta cosa tan maravillosa que estoy encontrando aquí, no? Y entonces empecé a escribir como mujer latina nueva en una agencia. Uno puede pensar que ¿para qué le voy a mandar un email? ¿Qué me van a responder? Pero no, yo empecé a ver quiénes eran los mejores y empecé a mandarles emails. y presentándome. Hola, soy Mariana, acabo de comenzar, quizás en broken English, no importa, quizás sin tener como la mejor gramática, lo mandé. Y para mi sorpresa, todos contestaron, todos me dieron su tiempo, sin esperar nada a cambio, diciéndome qué dudas tienes, te recomiendo hacer esto. Y desde que empecé a conectar con todas estas personas tan maravillosas, mi agencia en 1 o 2 meses duplicó la cantidad de familias que estábamos protegiendo, y empezamos a estar muchísimo
Bueno.
mejor. Incluso hoy en día seguimos creciendo gracias a la continua ayuda, porque yo no dejo de pedir ayuda. Yo sigo pidiendo ayuda y sigo comentando. Y además no me han ayudado solamente a nivel profesional, sino a nivel personal. Cuando no me siento bien, el mismo Kevin ha tenido conversaciones conmigo cuando la cabeza a veces ya uno no le da, o el sistema nervioso a uno ya no le da, y te ayudan a ground yourself, a decir, poner los pies sobre la tierra y decir, todo está bien, vamos a hacer un plan y salimos de allí. Entonces no tengan miedo, si alguien no responde, eso es lo peor que puede pasar, que alguien no lo responda, pero con que una persona les responde el email, les atienda la llamada, tengo un Zoom con ustedes, les prometo que su vida va a cambiar. Y si quieren asegurar que les responda, escríbanme a mí, escríbanme, yo feliz de la vida en dar de vuelta lo que recibí pues de esta comunidad. Así que no se van a arrepentir, se los prometo. ¿Aló? If you can see me or hear me, you're froze. I can't hear anything. Hi, can you hear me or see me?